well, 20 years ago, certainly, there was, I don't think, hardly any internet in a hotel room. Maybe those early pioneers with carrying big shoebox-sized modems, maybe. 10 years ago, we introduced internet. In fact, about 11 years ago, Mandarin Oriental was my first project when joining the company, actually. And that, of course, at that time was wired. But it was evident that it was becoming important, and really around about 2005 you could see, 2004, 2005, you could see a significant takeoff in internet usage in hotels. But it was wired at the desk, tethered to the desk. Now, most of us believed at the time that Wi-Fi would happen. Two things, I think, caught us out. One, it happened later than we thought, but when it happened much faster than we thought. So all of us had installed Wi-Fi infrastructure and thinking, where are those guests? When are they going to come here? And when are they going to use it? And we were seeing percentage utilization of Wi-Fi versus wired internet connection in the single-digit percentages. So 90% of our customers in the early days still preferred to connect via wired. That changed over the last 3 years fundamentally. Today, at least 75% of our customers are preferring to use a wireless connection over wired, at least. And probably the 25 or 20%, 25% that's still tethered to wired are mostly financial services and mostly government, who are obliged in some cases to continue to use wired connections because of the perception of lack of security in wireless. That will change, and I think certainly over the coming 5 years, that percentage will go to 90-95% prefer to use wireless, because what has happened, of course, is that guests are bringing in not just laptops, but a wide variety of personal consumer electronics equipment, more and more of which is Wi-Fi equipped today. So we're seeing not just business use on a business laptop, but we're seeing iPhones streaming video off YouTube, accessing home stores of music that is streaming into guest rooms. All of that is to be encouraged, and I think we're only going to see more of it in the future. It's going to be enormous, and the iPad being one of many such devices of its type, I think it's only going to increase the relevance and use of Wi-Fi and the amount of bandwidth consumed, of course, in hotels. So it's an interesting time. A lot of you can either be fearful of it as a provider of service, or you can embrace it and think, well, hang on, customers are actually wanting to use something that we can deliver very well. Perhaps if we can deliver that service, that Wi-Fi enabled service, better than the hotel down the road, then perhaps we will fulfill that guest service promise a little bit better than the hotel down the road, and we will generate the loyalty that we need and we want. Well, Wi-Fi today is used throughout the hotel. Of course, if you're a guest, what you see, and all you should see, is the guest side. You see yourself using Wi-Fi, and that's well understood, but you actually experience the employees of the hotel, the staff of the hotel, using Wi-Fi. You just don't see it, but you experience it, and you experience it through excellent customer service. When you place that call for your luggage to be picked up as you check out, and that bellman arrives very quickly, you say, wow, that was quick. How did that happen? Well, it happened through Wi-Fi. It happened because we were able to locate the nearest bellman to you. We were able to find the person that was free. We were able to dispatch a quick message to them to say, guest in room 234 needs luggage picked up, go there quickly, and that bellman was able to acknowledge that service request and say that they're on their way. And all of that happens through Wi-Fi, which today is an integral part of the service delivery mechanism in a hotel. And it's not just bellman, it's not just engineering, for example. it's throughout the hotel. So the general manager sitting in his office, he's rarely in his office these days because he's able to be mobile, but he's somewhere in the hotel and a VIP guest checks in. Well, from the moment of getting out of the limousine, guest is recognised as a VIP guest. That recognition at the front desk of the hotel will automatically send a message to the general manager, and the general manager will be able to come and greet that guest very naturally, welcome back, before they get to the elevator, and that's all done through Wi-Fi.